A man and a woman on safari see an antelope running from a cheetah. The woman says to the man, "If the antelope survives this, I'll give you a blowjob."
Hello all, welcome back to Shaving with Peg Leg, and yes, that's all of us. That's all you skinny guys, all of us fat guys, all you young guys, all us old guys. That was us. All of us. That antelope would live. Even us guys with no legs would have made sure that antelope lived. Alright. Don't doubt me. We would have all done it. Alright. Using a one blade. What the hell? I'm reading something, but it's not what I'm reading. Okay. I'm reading it backwards, that's why. One blade razor. See? One blade. That's all it's got in it. Pivoting head. $30. And overpriced blades. But you can modify a gem blade to fit this. Which I haven't done yet because I still have regular blades for it. And I'm using the B-Ball cream gel invisible clear shit, whatever. It's slick as snot, but it's just freaking invisible. And then for aftershave, I have the 4711, and I also have the 4711 cologne. So we're gonna smell pretty after this. Oh. I know it looks nasty in the hand. Okay, well, I guess when your head's wet, it will give some kind of lather. Oh, okay. I've never had to do that before. Let's try something. My hand's slick, sliding off the jar. Let's see if or if it's just gonna take it off. No. Okay, let's just go with that. No pivoting head razor. Never had this stuff do that before. It's always just been clear. Let me tell you what. This is the second use of this blade because I figured I'd give it a second shot, because the first time I tried using this for a second use was, oh my god, horrible. I figured maybe it was just a bad blade. Let me give it another shot with 2 uses on a blade and see what happens. Well, let me tell you what, it wasn't a bad blade. These things are horrible on their second use. It is so rough. Did I just shave with a butter knife? Okay. In September 1505, a contingent of 150 Swiss guards leave Switzerland and march towards Rome, Vatican City to be exact. And they arrive in Vatican City on January 22nd, 1506, which is considered the birth date of the Swiss Guard for the Pope. Yes, Switzerland and Vatican City are not that far apart, but you got to cross Alps and everything to get there. And these guys aren't just marching there, they're carrying gear, weapons, armor, supplies, everything. And everything is, in English, that's everything. That's kind of an inside joke for my family, everything. I forgot what show we got that from, but it had a Chinese lady on it that always said everything. We're gonna do everything. We used to watch it as a family. Anyways, they get to Vatican City on the 22nd of January, 1506. Set up headquarters and become the Pope's Royal Guard. Also known as, they're known as the Pontifical Swiss Guard, also known as the Papal Swiss Guard, or just the Swiss Guard. They are among the oldest military units in continuous operation. Recruits to the guards must complete basic training with the Swiss Armed Forces, be Swiss residents, and be unmarried Swiss Catholic males between the ages of 18 and 30, and who stand at least 174 centimeters or 5 foot 8.5 inches tall. And those who accept to serve, it's a minimum of 2 years, but they can also extend their service by 2 years in 1 year increments. So they can serve a total term of 4 years. They can serve their 2, re-up for 1 more year, and then after they get done with that year, they can re-up for 1 more year. The force has of Swiss Guards, the number of them has gone up and down over the years. Sometimes it's been disbanded and then reconstituted again. It's got a varied history of different things, especially during the Italian civil wars, when there was times that the Pope had to be snuck out of the Vatican and taken someplace for his own safety, because they only, besides being just bodyguards for the Pope, which they are, their only authority is actually in Vatican City, except when they're doing bodyguard services for the Pope. And one of these instances was on the 6th of May in 1527, when 147 of the 189 guards at the time, including their commander Caspar Royst, died fighting the troops of Holy Roman Emperor Charles V in the stand of the Swiss Guards during the sack of Rome, in order to allow Clement VII to escape, escorted by the other 42 guards. Like I said, they protect the Pope. And their uniforms, I don't know if I wrote down the colors. I think I did. Let me look. Their dress uniform is blue, red, orange, and yellow with a distinctly Renaissance appearance. And here it is. That picture's from like 2019. And most of the guards below the rank of corporal, when they're on duty, have halberds. You know, long pole with an axe head on, like on the end. Yeah. And then sergeants and corporals carry, they called it a pole axe, but it's it's like a long spear, and then it's got the two coming out like sword hilt coming out the sides near the point. And then officers carry swords. Different swords. All the guards carry swords. But the officers carry heavier, more ornate swords than the regular troops. And then they have a special guard when their banners are out, when they're doing ceremonies, and the guys are carrying all the banners. They have two guys that carry two-handed swords out during that, and they flank the banners when they're out doing their ceremonies. Yes, they also use small arms now. Not everything's just like that, but those are the ceremonial ones. Those are the guys you're going to see if you take a tour of the Vatican. Those are the guys you're going to see standing in doorways and whatnot. The guys with the halberds and swords on their hip. Very ceremonial type. Now, I'm trying to think if I changed this blade after the last time I used it, or if I put the same blade back in. I'm thinking I put the same blade back in, but now I'm hesitant to say that because after that first pass, this blade has smoothed up. That first pass is like most feathers. That first pass was really, really rough, and now it's actually smoothed up quite a bit. So I'm wondering if I changed blades and forgot that I did. Now, the armory in the basement. Okay, before we go there. Since the assassination attempt of John Paul II on 13th of May 1981, a much stronger emphasis has been placed on the guards' non-ceremonial roles, such as bodyguard protection. The Swiss Guard has developed into a modern guard corps equipped with modern small arms, and members of the Swiss Guard in plain clothes now accompany the Pope on his travels abroad for his protection. And they're very proficient in their small arms, and they carry SIG P220 pistols, and they use I forgot what the SIG rifle is, but it's a SIG 5.56 rifle, 5.56 millimeter rifle, or 223, same as the M16. They carry that Swiss rifle because they're Swiss. They carry Swiss pistols and Swiss rifles. Go figure, right? Okay, I think I changed the blade, or it's just getting a better shave on its second use, because I'm pretty clean except for my normal spots. But as I was saying, the armory in the basement, in the bellows, I mean, there's several layers of basement at the Vatican, we all know. The biggest library and vault of antiquities is in one of their sub-basements. But they have an armory down there for the Swiss Guards. that has 200 pieces of plate mail, full plate mail suit armor. One for each of the up to 200 guards. Now, plate armor was normally made to the wearer. It was made to his dimensions, his size. So they all kind of got to, if they had to wear it, which they don't anymore, but if they had to put it on, they'd have to just try and find the one that fits them the best. And God forbid, if you were the fourth guy in line for the one suit of armor that fits you best. You might be wearing something too small or too big at that point. But they're all roughly the same size, I would imagine. That armory also is a warehouse, a literal warehouse of weapons from the 16th century, the 1500s, up to modern day. There is hundreds of pieces of swords, halberds, maces, battle axes, morning stars, all kinds of medieval type weapons in that armory. All of them kept in pristine condition by the armorer of the Swiss Guards. Well, he has a whole staff. They clean it, they polish and lubricate everything down there. They keep everything in working order. So nothing's just hanging around getting rusty. Everything's perfect working order. I want to do that one more time. Can you hear it still cutting? Or at least trying to cut? It's pulling hair. It's not pulling. I don't feel it pulling. But it's scraping. Whether it's cutting or not is another story. No, it cut. Go over this spot here that wants to give me troubles. It doesn't want to cut like it should. Last few shaves it didn't want to cut. Actually, it did pretty good this time. I'm thinking that's the same blade. It's doing better this shave than it did the last shave. I think they might not be one and done, for me at least. On a head shave, it might not be a one and done blade. Even though I used that one on the face shave and then did it on a head shave, I was like, oh my God, that was horrible. But this one didn't do that. I'm pretty clean, guys. That's actually pretty freaking remarkable. It's actually pretty good. See how close it got. We'll use a chunk of alum. We'll go ahead and see how close it got. Cold and wet, cold and wet. I'm not getting anything, just cold and wet. Yeah, there's nothing. There's not even a quarter of a point going on there. It's just cold and wet. Not bad. It's actually not a bad head shaver. It's just the blades are shit most of the time. I'm really trying to remember if I changed that blade out or not. I might have, but I usually don't. I usually wait till I go to shave with it again to put another blade in it. Now, if I'm gonna something like this, if I'm like my gem razors, if I'm gonna, when I get done with the razor, I wash the razor out, clean it, toothpaste, brush, give it a good clean, get all the soap scum off of it, clean the blade, same way. And then when I dry everything off, I put the blade back in the razor and then put it up. So my gem razors that I have used have the blade in it that I used at that time. So they've all got one use on them now. So something like this, that's what I would do. So that might be the second use on that blade. So we'll give it a third try, because it actually got better after that first pass. It got smoother. So I don't know if it just wasn't cutting, but my head's clean, guys. So that was which Hazel. Okay, now we're gonna go with 4711 aftershave. Johnson & Johnson baby lotion, because got to keep the dome as soft as my brain, right? And the 4711 cologne. That's a good scent. It's been around forever and a day. It's one of the original scents out there. It's this one, the more modern version is a little bit more citrus than floral. Like the older version used to be more floral than citrus. This is more citrus than floral. But still, the older floral scents from back in the day, when it was 1700s, early 1800s, whatever, that's all they had. So don't say it's not manly to use a floral scent, because that's all they had, guys. And let's face it, those guys back then were a lot tougher, more manly than most of us today. So you can't say that they weren't that. It's not a manly scent. All right, that's just my opinion. And that's even on me, so don't even. I'm not talking down about anybody. I'm talking about our whole generation. Everybody has changed since the late 1700s, early 1800s. We have all become less tough, all of us, because it was a lot harder to live back then than it is today. All right, and with that said, don't forget I'm looking to head over. It looks pretty good. Don't forget the affiliate link. When it hits $25 in that account, I will get a $25 gift card to the razor company and get back to you guys. And with that said, run like an antelope. All right, done with the babbling fat guy in the camera. You're in the chair next. Happy shaves out there, guys.